reasonable person, which if you're watching my videos, you probably already are, and you're looking for an EV, right? I don't dislike EVs because I don't dislike the technology or because I think they're evil or something. I dislike the way they're marketed. Number one, right, just avoid arguments in the comments. Someone's probably already said it to me before. Essentially, the only problems I have with EVs, number one, the crucialist, they are not the answer to climate change. Stop whining about it. It's not, it will never be. By the time our power grid is completely not dependent on coal or fossil fuels or oil, hydrogen cars should already have a stronghold. EVs are not and will never be the answer. They're most usually always extremely overpriced and impossible to find a decent used one. And number three, why I hate them the most, even though the other reasons are much more important, they're just so weird for no reason. Like, come on, can we just get one singular normal EV that doesn't look like a space turd? I mean, come on, Teslas look somewhat normal. They look like if you told an alien what a Camry looks like. It's like, ugh. And it's not just because I'm like this motorhead who doesn't... I think EV technology is great, and it has its place. But don't pretend like it's something that it isn't. This isn't the answer to climate change. This isn't the best car ever created. This isn't a sports car. It can be, though. It's just a car. It's a different way of making it move forward. It's not any better or worse than gas cars. The batteries are lithium-ion. Kids used to mine those and still do in most of the world. So, with that, you are a reasonable person. You need an EV, right? You already have a car in the lineup, and you just want an EV that will most likely charge for free. Well, charge for less than it will to fill up your gas car. The recession is coming. You already have a gasoline car for long trips. You just want a small little EV to bop the kids to school, take you to the grocery store. Just what EVs really shine at, right? So, let's say you're looking at an ancient Model S, 2013. A, the batteries are usually hella degraded on these and don't have a lot of range, and B, the interiors were built like crap. They absolutely fell apart. A lot of people said that they were built very well. Some of those can be true. It's a hit or miss. The earlier ones were built very sloppily. The later ones were built a little bit more reliable. Now, you may say, what if I get a newer Tesla Model 3? This is the 2016 when it launched. Let's say you get something like this, right? But A, again, the batteries are going to be degraded. B, they're also built like crap. Every single thing that's plastic will be loose if it has not fallen off already. Everything's plastic clips. That's just how Teslas are made. And also, they're so expensive. The $15,000, $14,000 ones can be used, but those have definitely had their battery chewed out. So many high mileage one of EVs. That's another thing. You can get a gas car up to 400,000 miles. EVs, their battery wears out pretty quickly. Let's say you want a small little BMW thing. That's too small for the kids to get in and forget groceries. Let's say you want to get a Mazda. Well, the range sucks, and the cargo capacity sucks. Yeah, no, they both suck. This car has terrible range. It has a terrible interior. Mazda, what were you thinking? Not an option. Let's say you want to get like a bigger, smaller EV, the i-MiEV. First of all, it looks like an alien space potato. Second of all, it's Mitsubishi. And third of all, the interior is just weird and cheap. And also, in an accident, I'm sorry, your feet are like right there. Your feet are the crumple zone. Yeah, sorry to say it. Or Toyota BZ4X. I think the 360-mile range, I think that's perfect. The price is very expensive, unless you get a used one, which I think that they can be quite reasonable. These are probably out of your price range. And what about the Nissan Leaf? They're ugly. These wheels are ugly. They fall apart. This is probably the most longest lasting EV. You have to admit, it's still weird. It's not your average. It doesn't look like you just want something normal that's an EV. You don't want it to be weird and gooey with the bow tie and the wheels. Ugh. You don't want any of that gooiness. You don't want the EV-ness. You just want a standard car that happens to be an EV. Why hasn't someone made a Toyota Corolla IM? That's just an EV. There's nothing weird about it. It is a normal-ass average car. No modifications, but it's an EV. That's it. No white plastic in the interior, no craziness, no. It's just an EV. Will you settle for a Golf? That's right. Volkswagen, I'm here to praise them, right? Volkswagen can make good cars. The diesel cars, wonderful, much more reliable than a lot of gas engines that I see. Volkswagens are either hit or miss. It depends on how, like, imagine there's a slider. It depends on how Audi or Volkswagen they are, because Volkswagens are reliable, Audis are not. No, are Volkswagens as reliable as Toyota? No, but considering all the American brands and most of the Japanese brands are just slopping out crap now, they're much better than much of the other brands in the market. Just because they're not as good as Toyota doesn't mean their cars are worthless, you know? I mean, I think Toyota, again, their quality is slipping, yes, but I mean, like, a lot of people like to make that argument that Toyota's quality has slipped over the past ages. Yes, I will confer, yes, it has slipped, and yes, I am noticing more complaints from customers. Look at all the other brands. American cars almost don't function anymore, you know. The other Japanese brands, Nissan CVTs are falling apart. Honda's taking Nissan as, ugh. And then Mitsubishi's apparently just making Nissans now. It's all ridiculous. Volkswagen is a good brand if you just want a good, reliable German brand. German manufacturers can make good, reliable cars when they want to. They're just usually more enamored with performance. So, I'm just going to show it to you. That's just say you want a Golf, right? We're not getting an EV anymore. That's right. This is an EV. 2019 for 20 grand? That's not bad. For a 2019 e-Golf, this car only has 23,000 miles, and it has 120 miles of range. Now, you may be saying to me, boing, wait a second, 120 miles isn't a lot. If you have a gas car, that's enough to get to the grocery store and get back home, which is, again, what an EV should be doing. EVs are better at that than gas cars are, right? That's what they should be used for. Don't pretend like there's something that they're not. First of all, let's just take a look at this car, right? The outside of the car, just look at it. It's just normal. It's got some aggressive styling to it. If you take off or put different wheels on it, you wouldn't even tell. It just looks like a Volkswagen, right? And looking like a Volkswagen isn't bad. Now we can see it has some pinstriping there, but again, it just looks like a normal car. And again, look at all the 2016 EVs. They all look weird. They all look awful. I'm sorry. The EVs, they're just so weird. The wheels, I actually think they look great, right? The doors are nice and straight and thin, right? You have this, and thin, and thick. You have this nice, like, band going here, you know? Bad blind spot, I will say, for a very small car, that's a very bad blind spot. It's a very good car, though. It's very reliable. I've seen them go the distance, go the miles. Their batteries last a very long time. And again, they're just a normal car. That's an EV. That's it. There's nothing white plastic on the end of EV. It just says e-Golf on the back. They're not gloating it. There doesn't have EV and 90s rainbow color lettering covering the taillights and logo, like slanted up. No. It's just the e-Golf. You wouldn't even know it's an EV. It just says e-Golf. It could be like some weird trim level if I'm completely oblivious to modern day cars. You know, it's not bad. It's just a standard normal car. You know? It's perfect. I mean, look at it. So from the side, it's got this nice little band here that lights up, right? You've got your high and low beams and your turn signals. Just overall a normal car. You know, there's nothing really wrong with it. It just looks like a normal car. And because, you know, the Prius is one of the slanty hatchbacks. So let me just give you a little hatchback lesson, right? There are different types of hatchbacks. If they go straight up and down, they can usually carry a lot of crap. The Prius, right, is another type, the two types. It can either be straight up and down or slanted or kind of both, like a hybrid. The Toyota Prius is slanted, but keep in mind it's much longer than the Corolla or other cars in its market. So because it's so long, you have a very long and short cargo area. This is a very short and tall cargo area. It's just depending on which one you want. So we can see here, it's just a normal car. You know, there's no weird I would buy this car because it just looks like a normal car. I can plug it in. That's fine. Because EVs shouldn't be weird. EVs are actually gas cars, when you look at them mechanically, are incredibly more weird than EVs are. EVs are just simple. Battery, motor, wheels, steering wheel. Again, I am extremely simplifying them. But again, an engine, that's essential. If you had those four things, technically, if everything was planned out perfectly, it should work. A car, the engine has like a million different parts. You know, EVs are just more simple, right? So look at it. It's just a normal car. There's no complaints. If I'm looking at this right now, I wouldn't even know it's an EV. The wheels are kind of a little bit of a giveaway, but you can just change them. Come on. Okay, and then look at the interior. Look, nice and normal. Instead of being like that brutalist interior, where it feels like you're shaking on an Everest mountain by yourself. Nice leather interior. Cigarette lighter, which you don't see too much of anymore. Your parking brake, and then your little slide cup holders there. I always liked how they did this. They did this like little waterfall thing here for most of their vehicles. I like Volkswagen. I just buy... So... Don't get me wrong, I love Volkswagen. I think their styling's very good. I'm kind of enamored with them, if that's what you want to say. Like the driver-focused cockpit-y thing, but not like... When you're the passenger, like in the Supra, you feel a little bit left out. In the Volkswagen, it points it all towards the driver without making the passenger feel left out. It's a perfect design, this waterfall design. Just like Volvo. I mean, it was beautiful. German cars and Swedish cars are very good at that. Then you have your GPS navigation screen, which is, of course, your standard Volkswagen, pretty decent system. I mean, not bad, right? And then you have your hands-free calling on the steering wheel, which isn't bad at all. It's just overall a really nice interior. Then you can see your digital gauge cluster up there. Again, not weird, just easier to drive. Your AC climate controls down there, heated seats, and then your little number readings on the side. A normal car. You don't have to feel like you're the weirdest guy on the road driving an EV. It's just a normal car. You like EVs, you like how it charges, you like how it functions. Fantastic. I love hybrids. Again, I like EVs. I like this EV because it's not weird. EVs should not be weird. I'm sorry. If I'm going to buy an EV, I don't want to, God forbid, drive something that looks like a robot turd. Again, ugh. And I don't want to drive something that looks like an overinflated Camry, but just weird and more strict. Ugh. Just garbage, right? This is good. Now, you may say $20,000 for a 2019 car is a lot. No, it's not. I'm sorry. Used car prices are at the roof. They're all ridiculous. This is a very good deal, right? And it's just such a normal car in such a crazy time, right? And again, 120 miles of range, it's enough to get you to the grocery store, and it's enough to get you home, right? This isn't a road trip car. This is taking the kids to school, taking the kids home from school, driving the gas car on things. Like, let's say someone else in your family. Like, even one of your kids, right? You're trying to settle down. They're moving out. Let's say even one of your kids has a gas car. That's fine, right? EVs are wonderful. Normal shifter, not some weird little dial thing. Perfect. Volkswagen, congratulations. You perfected it. It's perfect. It's just a normal car. If you want to buy 100%, go. The batteries are reliable. The motor is reliable. Volkswagens, especially the diesel thing, I mean, that was genius. Yes, they were cheating emissions, but at the same time, emission standards. Again, a lot of people like to think that I am, like, evil or something, or that I'm against car progression because I'm against EVs. I'm not against EV technology as a whole. I'm not here to set EVs back like 20 years by telling everyone that they're all terrible. I'm just here to bring some reality to the situation and say, believe it or not, EVs are not the one-all be-all answer, right, guys? Because it's not, and it's not fair to call EVs that. EVs, like this EV, is perfect. It's functional, and yet it's not, in that... Again, the Tesla doesn't have a huge trunk because of the battery. The Model 3, I mean, it's okay. It's more of a hatchback than it is a, sedan, but okay. The BMW, you can't fit anything in it. They just are all so weird, and they're not functional. They're not weird in a functional way. They're just weird for the sake of being weird. Sometimes that's good. It's not endearing or good here. Right, so with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget, never mind, because you may be thinking at this, well, I can't afford that. If you're willing to sacrifice 30 miles of range, you can get a 2016 for 14. That's right, a $14,000 EV. That's like cheaper than a gas car from 2016. Oftentimes, so some of the sales I'm seeing, these are cheap. Just look at it. Again, fantastical, normal car. It may not be as spiffy as the other one because this is a lower trim level, I believe. Wait, no, SE? Nope, this is, nope, SE? SEL Premium. There we go, SE. Again, it may not be as fancy as the other one, but for 14 grand, this is an amazing EV. Like, going to college and you just want something you can cheaply plug into while you're going to school, this is a fantastic car. It may not have as nice of a screen. It's still perfect. It may not have a fully digital dash. It's still fine. It's just a normal car. They don't have to be weird, guys. If you make them normal, people buy them. They're not bad at all. So, with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'm just glad to finally have found an EV that is not the weirdest thing in the world.